Ladies and gentlemen, the Newsbeat advantage. Is it Wall Street's really easiest trading edge ever? You be the judge. And when does the market actually catch its breath? Because we've just been running up like a sprinter who just never runs out of breath. How we call the bottom of Microsoft today, and the famous 40-year market early warning system is in effect. Is it really legitimate? Hashtag Newsbeat Strong, little thing we'll be discussing with you, as well as my final thoughts on the video. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So many interesting things here to talk about today. We're going to go ahead and show you our agenda. We have a great agenda for you today, but I just need you to quickly pause on the next slide, read it all, and then continue going after you agree to it. Thank you so much for agreeing to it. We're going to start off with the first thing on the agenda tonight, the Newsbeat Advantage, Wall Street's easiest trading edge ever. And like, you have to understand, it's really less of a self promotion as more of me asking you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. You tell me if it's Wall Street's easiest trading edge ever. I have people telling me all the time that it is, and I just wanted your opinion, just coming from an honest place. If you're interested in any of my products, there is a link in the description. Go ahead and take a look if you are interested after this video ends. Okay, let's just go right into it. So we were watching FedEx today. Did you notice something that happened in FedEx today? Did you notice that like, I don't know, maybe it just started shooting up supposedly randomly. And it was happening right over here with some elevated volume. Nice little move from 155.92 over here to the next minute of 157.15. A stock that went up $1.23. And this is a 1 minute chart, just so we're clear. This is, again, on the 1 minute chart, as you could see right up here. And just to show you, the stock exploded up and actually eventually got to 157.69, but literally within 60 seconds went up a dollar. Now, if I stopped and I asked you, well, what is this edge you're talking about? We strive on getting news before the majority of Wall Street. The majority of traders out there are really just focused in on their charts, on scans, on things like that, which is fine. There is definitely something to be said for charting and technical analysis. But is there more? Is there more that you have access to? Now, maybe you and I are not part of Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch. Maybe we're not part of those large tier one brokerages who have desk traders, hundreds of people around them funneling them information, trying to get the best sources of information before reacting. You want to know the funny thing about being a trader at one of these large firms? They actually, for the most part, aren't really good technicians. The majority of people that I talk to, like you and others, are far better technical and analysts than some of the multi millionaires on Wall Street. Do you guys honestly believe that Warren Buffett knows how to call the bottom of a stock intraday? Do you really believe that somebody like, you know, Bill Ackman knows how to look at a stock and say, this is a 5 minute breakout right here. We got to buy in right here and set it stop here. Do you think they really know how to do that? Judy's like, no way. And of course, much like my wife, Judy is right 100% of the time. But let me explain to you this. How do you actually garner that edge? Exactly, Kevin. They have better information. What if you could have better information? I know. No other place offers this. You're looking around here, you know, on Wall Street, and you're just not finding this sort of edge. You're not finding it. But did you know that all these tier one firms, all these desk traders, that they have access to this information in which they're acting upon? Now, eventually, the information usually will fall on your lap if you have a simple fly on the wall or briefing. But let me ask you a question just looking at FedEx here. How much more valuable would it be for you to have FedEx at 9:53 a.m. in 30 seconds as opposed to 9:56 a.m. over here to 9:57 a.m.? How much more valuable would it be for you to know that a community of traders are most likely, I don't see everybody's account statements. I could only talk for myself, are buying FedEx right over here, right before it takes off. What if, follow me on this one, what if yesterday, Boeing, what if yesterday that same type of news flow brought Boeing from 331.09 to 338, $7 in about 7 minutes? This is a 1 minute chart. I mean, I know you see the dollar signs moving up over here on the right hand side. This is a 1 minute chart. I have to put things in perspective. Maybe you're a trader who doesn't have the patience of a saint. Maybe you're a trader who is just sitting there in the market watching, and you know what? I see all these other people able to swing and their P&Ls go up and down and up and down and up and down. That's not for me. Or maybe you are that trader and you're like, that is me. I'm waiting for the bigger move and I could do it. You're all different, each and every one of you. And the best way to cater a strategy that works for the vast majority of traders out there is to be able to help the lowest common denominator when it comes to every aspect of trading. Whether you have lowest common denominator, maybe it's financially. Maybe you're the lowest common denominator financially. Maybe you're the lowest common denominator when it comes to patience, like me. Which, even though I believe like certain stocks like Inseego help me elevate that patience a little. But you're getting the picture. Some traders aren't able to just say, here's my 3 easy strategies for doing it. No. I don't know how you feel. Some traders handle this very well. I'm going on my 21st year. I still don't handle it to this day. I don't want to say I don't handle losses well, because I handle it well in terms that I don't revenge trade anymore from the psychological aspect, so I handle it well from that. But I don't feel good after a loss. Like my whole day, I enjoy spending time with my loved ones just a little less. And I know it's wrong. And I know it's wrong. And I wish that I didn't feel that way. But I've been going on 21 years. I'm at the point now where it's like, Mark, you just have to be consistently profitable almost every single day. And I'm not having any like fabulous start to the year. I'm up probably approximately $10,000. But like, I will tell you right now that I do not handle myself. I think I handle myself better than I used to, but I'm not exactly where I want to be when I lose money when I walk away from trading. So what is the point I'm making? Back to the FedEx. Back to the FedEx call today. Um, you that was yesterday's FedEx, right? Let me just go to the 1 minute today. All right. Okay, there we go. FedEx, right over here. You know what happens to traders who buy right here? You know what happens to traders who buy FedEx on this 1 minute bar right here? Whether they're impatient, whether they have the patience of a saint, whether they were having a bad day earlier, or last night, or personal problems, or good things that went well for them, as long as they have the right tools to enter a security early, whether you're buying common stock. And this is, by the way, we create the most profitable, consistently profitable, I should say, prop traders on the planet. I'll take the Pepsi challenge any day. I'll take the Pepsi challenge any day to anybody who wants to show me that their system of teaching prop traders is remotely close to mine. And you want to know the funny thing? You can't teach this stuff. So maybe I'll even agree. You can't teach this stuff. This is trying to build the type of networks. This is trying to build the type of information, putting a heightened priority on information over charting to get this stuff earlier than the majority of Wall Street. This is the same type of stuff you like even when Amazon bought out Whole Foods. Do you realize how many times I was hearing that? Oh, there's a rumor Amazon wants to buy Whole Foods. Amazon wants to buy Whole Foods. Amazon wants to buy Whole Foods. And I was even telling the room 6 months before it happened, Amazon is going to buy Whole Foods in my opinion. Amazon is going to buy Whole Foods in my opinion. Amazon is going to buy Whole Foods in my opinion. Bam, Amazon buys Whole Foods. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm not. I'm not that at all. But if you saw how excited traders in our room were just to see something like this happen in real time, to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on a quick little move, whether they were impatient, whether they were patient, if you could show traders trades and bring trades to them that they could size up with higher conviction, they will make a lot more money. To me, FedEx, I had the equivalency of 10,000 shares worth of 10,000 shares worth of FedEx, the equivalency, the option equivalency. That is tends to be heavier than certain other positions I take. Now, what is this edge I'm talking about? I'm saying no other room on Wall Street will bring you information like this at the timing we do. Yes, they will bring it to you. The good ones will bring it to you, but they're not going to bring it to you as quickly as we do. Why? Because the Newsbeat Live Room, the first four letters of our room is news. And we get this news to you in phenomenally good fashion. And when you're dealing with geopolitics and drama, and something happens in the Middle East, and something is happening with this stock, you're going to want that news flow as damn early as possible. Even the silliest news flow ideas, like there was things I bet you didn't hear about today, like out of the UK today. Did you hear that the UK found no evidence that Iran hit the Boeing plane that blew up today? And because that basically leaned the blame on Boeing, as soon as that news flow came out, Boeing dropped $1. Were you aware of that today? Or maybe you weren't aware of the article today that plummeted Ameren, in which we called out before, I would say, probably anyone else on Wall Street. Again, I'll take the Pepsi challenge any day. Any day, really. This was our Ameren short call. This was our Ameren short call right over here. Hold on. So 1 minute chart. Okay. Yeah. This was our Ameren short call right above 1950 here. Right over here. We called Ameren short. We called the negative note on Ameren. Were you aware of that today when it was at 1970? This is a 1 minute chart. I'm showing you a 1 minute chart because I'm telling you don't need patience. If you're somebody who's a very impatient trader who can't stand seeing losses, maybe you throw away your winners too early. Maybe you throw away your losers too early. And anybody who tells you you have to hold your winners and cut your losers doesn't make real money trading. And if they do, they're lucky and they're not consistent. I know too many traders like this. Now, you don't have to be consistent to make money, but if you want to keep the psychological toxicity away and do this for a long time, and you're like most human beings, and you're not like some Superman, you don't have the skin of a spiked horned lizard, then you're going to need to have a lot more winners than losers. And us giving you Ameren today, when it was right around 1960s here, the stock went to 1910 in 3 minutes. 3 minutes later. Ameren. And it ended up getting beaten up for almost the entire day. It went much lower afterwards. But I'm just even focusing on this. I'm not even insinuating, oh, you could have bought Tesla here at $400 and sold it near $500. That's, and actually we are going to share a story like that with you today from the Newsbeat Room. But that's not what I'm even talking about. That is the indisputable edge which helps traders become profitable. I've been doing trading rooms for 12 years. Oh God, it feels so old. I'm going on my 13th year, and I'm going to be going on my 21st year as an active intraday trader. And I will tell you, I have never seen more people in my entire career turn consistently profitable by bringing them this form of information, because I don't mean to put anybody down here. Any idiot can do it, even a college dropout. Any idiot, any idiot can do it, in my opinion, which is not everybody's a genius. That definitely caters to the lowest common denominator now, wouldn't it? You tell me, you be the judge if you tell me that's Wall Street's easiest edge ever by getting that information in real time and hearing an entire community act upon it. The next thing I'm going to bring up with you guys today is when does when does the market catch its breath? When does the market catch its breath? There's some traders out there, and I'm telling you right now, and I'm probably talking to some of you right now. Let me hear a 33 in chat. Type in the number 33 if I'm talking about you right now. Don't type it in now. You didn't hear what I had to say yet. But listen, how many traders look at this cues, look at these cues, look at these spiders? Let me just pull up the one chart to have less dramatic effect here. How many people look at it and the only thing you can think of is this market has to come down and I need to be part of it? How many people have you? Let me get a 33 if that's you. Roland, Suzanne, Keith, Fareed, Lee, Kelly, Kevin, Gary, Shelby, Jeffrey, Diana, Jose, Cooper, Robert, Rudy, Greg, Dan, Tom, Kenneth, Ricky, Glenn. That's a lot of, uh, other Ked. I mean, just look at this. I mean, I get it. And how many of you are looking at Tesla thinking, especially with Tesla, can I get a 44 if Tesla is a name that you're dying to short? Let me hear 44 if you're looking at Tesla and you're like, no way, Mark. No way, Mark. I might have been born on a Tuesday, Mark, but I wasn't born yesterday. How many people cannot stand that Tesla is trading $170 higher than it was in December? It's the beginning of January. A month ago, this was $170 lower. How many people look at this name and they're like, "Oh, I gotta short it"? Now, I know what I'm supposed to tell you. I know what I'm supposed to tell you. As, a Wall Street talking head, a guru, I'm supposed to tell you, you'll need to follow your disciplines very well. You need to only trade what you see. And there's nothing bearish about that chart, and you shouldn't do it. But what if? What if I told you that's not going to resonate with the majority of you? What if I told you those words would fall upon deaf ears quicker? I was going to say something funny, but oh God, it's so wrong. Like, I get it. But what if there were words that would help you? I'll show you what will help you. Because maybe you're impatient. Maybe you have no discipline. Maybe you're psychologically toxic. Is there anything that I could offer you that would cater to somebody as screwed up as you? I think there is. What if, and we're going to play what if here, and yes, there is a lot of truth behind this what if. I'm going to go back to FedEx. What if you could buy FedEx here and make a $500 day, a $1,000 day, a $15,000 day, an $8,000 day, a $6,000 day? If you were able to make even $1,000, which I made a ton more than that today, if you're able to make $1,000 on FedEx, would that, do you think that that reward, seeing $1,000 in your face, and it's not a lot for these ideas, trust me when I'm telling you, I'm bare bottom minimum. There are traders who have made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars last year alone on these ideas. You're also looking at one. But I will tell you this. How many How many of you would be less inclined to do something stupid if you knew you could wait for a conviction trade where you hear somebody like me buying into something like that, and you pretty much know that I'm attacking it with higher conviction every single time? Let me hear an 11 if that's going to prevent you from doing stupid things. Me, I'll say it 11. Let me get an 11 in chat if you're going to stop doing stupid things. You know why? You do stupid things because your bills keep piling up. You're probably down. Maybe you have a significant other that's telling you who doubts trading, like, oh, it's all gambling, it's all gambling, it's all gambling. All right, you're talking to prior divorced Mark Melnick, and yes, I get it. I know, I've heard it all. I've talked to tens and tens, probably over 100,000 traders in my 21, oh God, I feel so old, 21-year trading career, coming up soon in about 5 months. Anyway, point being, I know, I get it. But if you had that $1,000 in your pocket and you could walk away from trading before 10 o'clock a.m., you'd be a lot happier. You'd be a lot healthier. You wouldn't suffer from fatigue. You'd be nicer to the people around you. Dare I say you would have less stress. Who could disagree with that? Who thinks that trading half an hour a day is less stressful than trading the entire day? Is that even really an opinion? It's not, it's a fact, right? Like, if you're disagreeing with this, you and I are just not on the same wavelength. It's just like, okay, you're a machine, you're a robot. It's like, as long as I am plugged into the wall, zero stress will happen. Sometimes you gotta unplug it from the wall. I am telling you right now, that is how you stop doing stupid things that you're not supposed to, because most traders know they do stupid things when they trade. Like, even while they're in the trade, they're like, you're in a trade and you're like, I shouldn't be in here. Oh God, this was so stupid. Why did I do this? You're smarter than that. I will help you fix that through real actionable ideas, real news flow, which no other room on Wall Street will ever offer you. If their lives depended on it, you cannot. They just won't. Now, when does the market catch its breath? Back to the question, I'll give you an answer by January 15th, 2020. Now, what is important? Right here is January 15th, 2020. I'll just draw a straight line up here. What is important about this day? Well, we're supposedly going to sign the US China trade war. We're going to supposedly sign the US China trade war. And after that, we're going to look for a potential phase two of the U.S. China trade war. We're going to look for a phase two dealing in China afterwards. And I've been saying for many months now, and I might be wrong, but my bet is at this juncture, we're going to have to wait for. I think this up move is a shorting opportunity, short-term shorting opportunity. I'm not bearish in the market, making all-time highs today. I'm not, I'm not psychotic. But yes, I do think the question is, how much can this market go up by January 15th if we really do sign the China trade war deal? And if we do, I do think we'll top out. Next, how did I call the bottom of Microsoft today? So in a real-time setting, I'm going to teach you. This is Newsbeat. Now, this has to do with the charts. And I'm going to just pull up the one chart here so I could show you in a cute little real-time setting. I'm going to just add a couple parameters here to show you. So you're looking at Microsoft today. So if you want to know where we called the bottom, um, we were buying it underneath 158 today. The day lows right here is 157.95. Right over here, we were buying it below 158. I think I might have had one of the bottom prints on the calls for the entire day. I might have. That or within a penny. I was buying it off the dead low. So how did we do it? Well, first, not to just keep bringing up news flow over and over and over again. It was the only damn name on my radar today. It was the only damn name on my radar today. Good morning, Bandits. Microsoft long, 2.5 out of 10 conviction. Potential roller coaster mode in effect today. Extreme elevated odds of geopolitical headline risk. Be safe, be quick. 8:57 a.m., January 8th. Okay, so we're watching Microsoft here today, and this is what I want to show you. A lot of people use this moving average. I'm not the first person who's ever used it, and I won't be the last. Here's a 5-minute exponential 8 moving average. You could pull it up for free. on freestockcharts.com. Here's a 21 moving average, and I'm just going to edit it, make it 21. And I like to make my 21 moving average is blue. You could make it any color if you like. You could call it whatever you want. It's an EMA. You could call it Susan if it makes you sleep better at night. I could care less. And then I'm going to add in a standard pivot point right over here. Pivot points. And you see the yellow dotted line here says pivot. So what happened here was Microsoft had bullish news and was pulling back and hit 3 support lines within a similar area. So I saw the pivot point support line at 158.19 and I felt it was going to bounce there and I missed the trade. It hit 158.12 right over here on the 5. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. It's 158.12 and bounces to 158.52. I missed that move. But when it pulled down here and it actually broke the pivot point, hit the exponential 8 and 21. You see that yellow? Here, I'll zoom in for you guys. You see this yellow and blue line over here? As you can see on the top left, if you can't see it, I'll read it to you. The blue line says 158.09 and the yellow line says 158.08. So let me ask you a question. Here's the logic behind it. So how did you know to buy underneath 158? If 158.08 and 158.09 are 2 support levels, why would you buy it under 158? Why not at 158.09, which still would have been amazing? You would have been, what, a dime or so off of day lows. That would have still been incredible, right? But how did you know to do it under 158? Because of the time of day. So what I did was think about it here. I took a name. The first step I did here was I took a name which had bullish news. So we had bullish news, and just to show you the bullish news, because I don't want to just say it. Like, why did you choose Microsoft in the morning, Mark? I mean, there had to be a good reason. Just to show you real quick right over here, Microsoft target, it's hard to read here. Target raised to 189 from 157 at Morgan Stanley. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what came out in the pre-market. So it had bullish news. In this case, it was an upgrade. Step 2, it hit the 80 EMA and 21 EMA. Step 3, those numbers were near the whole number. And step 4, it was between 9:35 a.m. and 9:40 a.m. Now, why is that part important there where I say it's between 9:35 and 9:40 a.m.? That part is important is because the volume will always be elevated during that time as compared to potentially 11 o'clock. If you look even at the Qs or the spiders, besides for after, the president spoke today, usually the first half hour of trading, the first hour of trading tends to have a lot of volume. I'll even show you an hourly chart here just to show you. In general, you'll see the first hours of the day, like 9:30 to 11, have the most volume by far. Just as a general rule of thumb, that has remained true my entire 21-year career. Okay, back to Microsoft. So when it was hitting 158.08 and 158.09, I knew there was going to be elevated volume there based on the time of day. And because of the time of day, it's going to flush underneath the level. See, had that level hit for the first time at like 12 o'clock p.m., 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard, I would have been more willing to buy it just at that line or slightly underneath. I wouldn't have looked for a flush of the whole number. But based on the time of day, you have to use your support and resistance lines a little differently no matter what you're using. Because you can already anticipate that there will be elevated volume, you have to try to use your resistance and support lines as just that, an indicator for how far below can you buy something underneath the support line? How far above can you sell something above this resistance line? And that is sort of the mentality that comes as a generalization early in the day. Now, I know there was volatility later in the day. The president, made a speech today, and that will elevate the volume of the market in today's case. But as a general rule of thumb, between 9:30 and 10:30, you're going to get the most volume for the entire day for the majority of stocks on average. On average, short of, news events and other things like that, on average, you'll get the most volume there. So when you know and you can anticipate that there's going to be elevated volume, you can actually predict it in real time. So when I was watching Microsoft here, as it was going down to 158.20 and whatever, and it was like coming down here, I literally said in real time before it even broke, guys, if it breaks 158 here and gets to 157.90s, I'm going to buy it. I was saying that as it went down. It went down to 157.95. It started going up 96, 97, slapped in some calls, and it popped in. I sold very early, but I just wanted to show you how I was able to call the bottom of Microsoft. Next on the radar, the early warning system is in effect. So what is this early warning system? I'll show you. It basically, the stock market early warning system, it's something that claims that it's 85% reliable, and it basically takes the first 5 days of the entire year to predict the year's market results. So it first uses the S&P results from January's first 5 days, and the second uses the S&P results for the entire month. And with an 85% success record, it's a seasonal indicator that some people are saying that you have to take seriously. So when you actually look at the past 40 times that the S&P posted gains in the first 5 days of January, the market as a whole gained for the year 34 times, or 34 out of 40 times, which is 85% of the time. On average, these years generated S&P gains of 14%. You're going to have to look back to 2002 to see the first time this has actually happened. But I don't think you should start jumping up and getting excited yet. Um, because according to this indicator, the US stock market will follow its direction over these first 5 trading sessions, with 4 of the 5 trading sessions, pretty much already complete. Let me just look real quick on the daily. Yeah, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we just put in our fifth day, and it's actually not really as significant as some people would like you to believe. And I'm going to show you a little chart right here. Let me just pull up this chart for you, ladies and gentlemen. And what it shows is it basically shows the Dow Jones Industrial Averages gains after the first 5 trading days through the end of December. And it shows you like how and where the market was by the end of the year. So since 1986, when the first, you know, 5 trading days are up, the market was up on average about 7% right here. And if you look actually right over here, when the first 5 days are down, it was up 6 point whatever percent, or relatively close. Since 1975, when the first 5 days are up, you're up about 9% of the time, let's call it. And when the first 5 trading days are down, you're up like 9 point whatever, let's call it 9.7% approximately of the time. The bottom line is they are very relatively close. It's not a big statistical difference, and I know a lot of people are talking about that right now. And it's something that I just wouldn't take very seriously in this environment. As I said in my 2020 report, history is very unlikely to repeat itself. I don't really look at the market and say, history needs to repeat itself per se. The next thing I want to share with you guys is something really cool and really interesting, and it's basically I'm coding it, I'm titling it hashtag Newsbeat Strong, and basically let's see if I could find it. All right, so basically a room member here today shared something amazing with us at 2:10 p.m. Here, let's see. Can I find it? Yeah, I could find it right over here. And a Newsbeat member shared something with us today, which I found very intriguing. And I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys. Member of our room, Frank. And just sometimes I read these things and it really touches me in a way. And this to me is one of the most inspirational things that I have ever seen. It never ceases to amaze me, the type of things that people say within our service. And it just really takes my breath away. So what Frank said today, took a little Tesla profit as my in the money January 10 calls weren't really going up enough to justify the risk. I'm thinking even if we break $500, we won't likely go up that much before earnings. We'll hold on to the rest until then. First solid five-figure day since I joined this fantastic community back in August with $400 from my mortgage. He had $400 that he borrowed from a mortgage. Borrowed. He made his money in Tesla. He couldn't buy a single Tesla share today with $400. He had a five-figure day with $400 borrowed from his mortgage, and he's thanking myself and really it's the community, everyone else that has kindly stood by me through this entire process. And I will, whoa, that's weird. Yeah. I will tell you right now, that is just absolutely, absolutely breathtaking, absolutely incredible. Like, that's how I feel. Like, that is just one of the most inspirational things that I really have ever seen. And just to see something like this, I mean, the dude made a solid five-figure day trading Tesla, his first one since he joined in August. So you figure August to September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months or less, considering you joined at the beginning and we're in the beginning. So it's probably closer to four. Borrowed $400, made a solid five-figure day. And that's the hashtag Newsbeat Strong of the Day. Posted in the room earlier today. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my final thoughts on this video here. My final thoughts are I really see a lot of good things happening back in the market. The market tends to be extremely cyclical. The market tends to be a place where strategies you're using are all of a sudden working, and strategies you're using are all of a sudden not working. And you might be a little confused on why is this month better than the other. The truth is, all trading months aren't created equally. And if anybody tells you that, they either don't know what they're talking about or they are intentionally lying to you. Trading environments always change. They always change. And the whole trick is to adapt to it. We've been doing a lot of test pilot things that we've been doing to try to adjust to the market. Everybody could agree the market evolves. What is your community doing to catch you up? Are they bringing new ideas constantly, not in terms of new stock ideas, but literally new trading ideas? We are doing right now what we call the Newsbeat Think Tank. Again, these are all test pilots, and we're trying them. We're seeing the member responses and whatnot. And so far, I think it's been great. We do Newsbeat exclusives. We do Newsbeat Think Tanks, and what we do is we try to bring new strategies and tweak strategies that already exist that are on the table to actually bring you more and more value, to actually bring you something more and more that wasn't there, something to improve. Because if you stop trying to improve, if you keep peddling the same old stuff every single day and are hoping for different results, didn't Albert Einstein say that's like one of the definitions of insanity? You have to keep evolving with the market. You have to keep changing. Who I am today as a trader is not who I was 6 months ago, is not who I was 6 months ago, is not who I was 6 months ago, because the market wasn't the same now as it was 6 months ago, wasn't the same now as it was 6 months ago, 6 months ago, 6 months ago. We are in a very polarized environment. We literally, how many of you guys woke up today and were like, oh my God, we're gapped up. How is that even possible? I mean, I will tell you, even after 21 years, this market never ceases to amaze me. My final thoughts is put yourself with a community that doesn't look for cheap parlor tricks, that is always trying to figure out something new and improve on whatever we're doing to ensure that the most people get to the level of where they need to be as a consistently profitable trader. There's a link in the description if you're interested in utilizing any of our services. Happy trading, make money. Slap the like button if you enjoyed our content. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.